the CFT for NCAA football 14 for the Xbox 360.
Here we are with Western Kentucky Hilltoppers versus probably one of the best teams in the conference and in the tournament, Indiana Users. Let's see if they can punch their ticket to the playoffs.
Speaking of which, here's where the team stands. Right now we see Western Kentucky. They're currently the 3rd seed. They're in the top 4. Speaking of the top 4, that's Baylor is number 1, LSU number 2, and Stanford with the 4th seed. If they win today, they can possibly improve their seat in the tournament, possibly become a 2nd seed. And for Indiana, they're fighting for survival. They are in the bubble. They're a part of a 4-team bubble in order to make it into possibly the 4th seed in the playoffs. We got Boise State, UCF, Bowling Green, and again, Indiana. It's a must-win today if they're going to try to make it to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's Indiana. It ain't Fresno State. So I got Indiana going all the way for this. I got them running. I'm putting an exclamation right now. I got Indiana running the table.
I think they could do it. I mean, they have a great possibility. I'm still surprised by their loss by Stanford. I mean, they had opportunities to not even make it into a situation where they had to fight for survival. But it was a very interesting contest.
And putting pressure on the quarterback, and they got a 3-and-out. And now let's see what they can do on their first possession.
Well, Western Kentucky, they'll have a chance to get the ball back later. And again, they've had some pretty good wins. They've beaten Bowling Green, Fresno State, and Boise State. Their only losses to LSU. But now it's Indiana's time to shine. They've had a mix of successes and losses. They've defeated Maryland and Marshall, but had losses to the top teams of the tournament, LSU and Stanford.
Yeah, but they lost to the top teams. I mean, they didn't choke like Fresno State. They didn't blow a lead like Fresno State. They didn't get their backs broke like Fresno State.
You do know this game is not Fresno State.
Yeah, I know that, but any of the team is better than Fresno State.
Well, there are 2 teams that are playing today that aren't Fresno State. Speaking of which, Indiana gets a 7-yard rush from the halfback number 12.
Like I said, Indiana probably one of the hottest teams right now. Yeah, they had a surprising loss, but they're still, you know, fighting with a lot, and they got a lot to prove here to punch their ticket to the playoffs.
I wouldn't go as far as to say surprising. I mean, Stanford is the 3rd-ranked team in the country. I mean, to even go toe-to-toe, I will say was extremely impressive. But look, Indiana has to put up or shut up. This is a game where they have to have a stellar performance.
Wait a minute.
And
It could be going.
quarterback is showing how stellar they can be for their first touchdown, a 55-yard touchdown run by the quarterback.
On their first drive, went 55 yards. Like I said, this is the most dangerous team in the tournament.
And it's because of their quarterback. This quarterback has demonstrated what happens when you can throw it in the air and also be mobile on the ground. This is what we call an all well-rounded team.
Well, I mean, any team is better than that other team. And like I said, this team is on fire right now. Already scored quickly to assert their dominance.
Now, Washington... Oh, sorry. Think about Washington. Why? I don't know why. Western Kentucky, they're going to have their chance back on the offense. And they held Western Kentucky to 16 yards in the last drive. Let's see if they can make more of an effort to try to put some points on the board. And they will with a pretty interesting catch by number 10 for 17 yards.
The corner and the free safety pretty upset that they gave up that play, but hey, man, it happens. You know, get out there and get them again.
Now we go back to the field. It's a new set of downs. 1st and 10 for Western Kentucky. And the quarterback steps back, scans it, but he's going to take it, sees a hole, and now the quarterback for Western Kentucky is going to show that he can move on the field too.
I'm surprised they didn't give it to him in 2nd and inches.
Well, they just got to tap it in, and the halfback is going to try to do that.
Oh, they got it.
It shows no yard rush, but it was not a question of yards, it's a question of inches, and they got a new fresh pair of downs, or set of downs.
Let's see what they do now. Drops back to pass. And the pocket collapses, and the quarterback gets sacked. Loss of
6, actually, and it's pretty bad because, again, trying to show that he can be mobile on the field, but it cost him big.
Yeah, but his O-line collapsed on him, and it caused him to lose yards.
Now, number 5 is going to earn back what was lost.
And then some.
19-yard rush is a 1st down for Western Kentucky.
Already, this is shaping up to be a pretty good game. This might be a shootout. Western Kentucky is going down, going down the field. They're almost in the red zone. We'll see what they can do here. Drops back the pass, and nothing.
Keep in mind, this is the second string quarterback, number 7. First string, number 13, is injured for at least a couple of quarters. We hope to see them back in the third. But right now, it's Western Kentucky with a 7-yard reception by number 2. Makes it 3rd and 3.
Let's see what happens here. If it's going to go 3 and out, or they can punch it in for 3.
They can try to get a first down here. They'll definitely be in field goal range.
And looks like they got it.
And stayed inbounds enough for another set of downs. 1st and 10. Indiana's holding on to a 7-point game, but Western Kentucky can change that. Gets the first down, and now we're talking about 1st and goal at the 2 with a 21-yard reception.
Yeah, it looks like the ball, exactly at the 2-yard line, right there at the goal line. Let's see if they can punch it in and tie this game.
Well, it's going to be the halfback that's going to do that for a 2-yard run. That's a touchdown for Western Kentucky.
And now this game is tied. Like I said, this either could be a shootout. Somebody could run away with it, but so far so good. We are all knotted up at 7.
I would say that given where they've been playing in the tournament, it's balanced enough that we can see this going back and forth. I don't really see a blowout by either team. But right now, Indiana's going to try to see if they can break this tie with a 20-yard return.
Indiana getting back on the field after scoring on their first possession. Let's see if they can add on to that. They're now at the 15-yard line. Let's see what they can do here.
Got 2 wideouts right there. And boom, goes to the tight end, number 20.
He held on to that.
Number 13, and that's going to be 420.
Ha! I'm surprised he held on to the ball. Got hit pretty hard there. But maintain possession. Quarterback drops back. Another first down. They're moving the chains. Getting it up the middle. Quarterback sees what he wants, and he gets there. And that's the end of the first quarter. We're still knotted up at 7.
Now, it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice route for number 1 if he can find it.
Oh,
and
no!
Catch it! And that is the connection for a 44-yard touchdown reception.
That is their second drive and their second touchdown. What a drive by Indiana, taking it down the length of the field again and got another touchdown to take the lead.
I don't want to sound old school, but it looks like number 1 went long distance there.
I mean, he had to. I mean, their quarterback and the receivers are on the same page, unlike another team. And now WKU has to work from behind once again.
Now, here they are, trailing by a possession. And it gives it to number 4. Number 4 is going to find a relatively open lane for 9 yards. Gives it 2nd and 1.
They called the defense nap and almost gave up the first, but it's only 2nd and 1.
Well, that's the thing. Indiana has shown that when they need to play defense, they'll hold things on lock. But they cannot give Western Kentucky opportunities to turn the game around, like this play with the baseball slide. Number 7 is going to hold on to it for a first down.
They faked the defense again, and now Indiana has to start playing a little bit more tighter to clamp them down.
Looking like it's going to be man-to-man. In this case, the cornerback 24 is going to stop it.
A loss of 4. It's now 2nd and 14. I don't know what was going on there, but that plane got blown up immediately.
Halfback didn't see an open lane, and that's going to cost them some yardage. 2nd and long. And the quarterback is going to step back, tries to see if the halfback is open, will connect, and it's only a gain of 4.
They got really right back to the line of scrimmage, and it's now 3rd and 10.
Look, in 3rd down conversions, they're at 50%. Quarterback steps back, gets it to number 10, but it's not going to be enough.
And that's going to be a 3 and out by WKU. And now Indiana has the time to get some more points before the half.
And in this case, if they want to extend the lead, they have really good opportunities to do so. They're going to get the ball back at decent position, at least starting at the 10, to the 20, near the 25. That's an 11-yard return by number 14.
Let's see if Indiana could tack on some more points. Their offense has been on fire in all cylinders so far. Quarterback has not made a lot of mistakes. Let's see if they can continue that momentum.
And with that, he passes it
Ooh.
and nearly gives a big mistake to number 26.
That was almost picked off.
First deflection.
That was almost picked off. Luckily, he dropped it. Let's see what happens here.
Look, number 5 can be a gunslinger at times, and when he tries to hold on to it, that can happen with a 3-yard loss.
It's now 3rd and long. Let's see what they can do here, or they can get their first 3 and out of the game.
Looks like they're going to throw it. Looks
Play
like
action
the tight end is open and
Oh,
connects. And number 83 saves the team from a turn down, well, not even a turnover on downs, but just a punt return. Now it's a new fresh pair of downs with about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left.
Looks like an option.
And with that option,
he's at midfield.
Gets a big yard. 1st and 10. They're already at their side of the field. Already in Indiana territory. Can they get some more points before halftime?
2 minutes remaining. Quarterback steps back and gets it to the wide receiver number 3. And
oh no!
Going to possibly make it in? No! But that was a great pass. Man, for a moment I thought that was going to be too tight for the catch, but it was good enough. They're going to start at the 6. And with about 1 minute and 40 seconds left, gets it to number 12 for another Indiana touchdown.
This game is starting to get starting to turn into a blowout. It is now going to be 21-7. The Hilltoppers not looking good. Like I said, Indiana is one of the most dangerous teams in this tournament, and they're proving it right now, going to a commanding 21-7 lead.
Well, I didn't think that this would be a one-sided affair. I made it clear that it's going to be a seesaw. But Washington, Kentucky, you kind of have to prove me right here. You're trailing by now 2 possessions with 1:34 remaining. And with a 27-yard return by number 2, they're going to start at near the 30. And here on this play, number 7 steps back, tries to keep it. Nice block by his men because that's going to give him 9 yards.
I'm surprised he's still on his feet right there. I thought he was going to get down for a sack, but he was able to stay on his feet and gain about 9.
So now it's 2nd and 1. 1:26 remaining. Steps back, gets it to 85, and that's going to be the reception needed for a new set of downs.
They moved the chains to about 1:24 left. Can they get some more points before halftime?
Would make sense to control the clock, especially with 2 timeouts remaining.
Oh no, another sack. It is now loss of 3.
2nd and 13. About 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. Quarterback steps back and gets it to number 85, and that's going to be a 3rd and 2. They're still running the clock. They're not using any of their timeouts. Number 7 steps back, tries to hold on to it.
Oh my goodness!
And got caught up in traffic, lost the 5.
Let's see what they're going to do here.
Would you take it on 4th?
I mean, why not? I'm down by 2 possessions. I might as well. Nope, they're going to punt the ball, and Indiana called a timeout.
Why did Indiana do that?
Maybe they want to get some more points and put more salt on the room before halftime.
Man, I mean, it makes sense given the fact that Indiana is in a 4-way tie currently for a 3-2 record. It's going to be the number of points necessary that can break that tie and make them into the round of just 4. So here it is. If we're talking about total yards by quarter, Indiana is just lighting it up. And it's really a testament not just to the quarterback's mobility, but the ability to throw it up in the air. Speaking of which, he's throwing it up big. And no, doesn't work. Number 22 deflects it.
Yeah, they tried to go for the big bomb, and it didn't, pan out. Luckily, it was not picked off, but the corner stayed with his receiver and dropped the pass.
Man in motion, number 1. Quarterback steps back, tries to see if anyone's open, thinks the sides are open, but no. Another deflection again by number 22.
I don't know what the quarterback was thinking about throwing in double coverage, but it's 3rd and 10.
And now with just 10 seconds left, he's going to try to throw it out in the air again for his 3rd attempt. This time,
it is picked off!
And that was not the right move, considering that the quarter was going to end. And with 5 seconds left, WKU gets a free look.
And they give the ball right back!
So we're just exchanging balls at this point. We're just exchanging turnovers.
Well, you guys are even now with the turnovers, 1 for each. So now we're going to halftime with a score 21-7.
Indiana is currently holding on to the lead with a 2-possession game. If they win it, they can possibly be in it in the semifinals. Number 1 holds on to the ball, gets a 23-yard return, and look at the offense. If you see for 21 points, it just takes 16 plays to get a total of 238 yards. Talk about efficiency.
I mean, Indiana is firing on all cylinders, from the receivers to the blocking to everything. The defense is on point. holding Indiana to only 7 points. And here we go, a big gain, a gain of 15 yards, and it's now 1st and 10, damn near at midfield.
And the quarterback is showing once again when they need the necessary first downs, he's going to find a way to get it, just like that one by number 1, 13-yard reception for another first down.
They moved the chains again, and once again, they're trying to pour it on. They're trying to put this game definitely out of reach.
And with the deep ball, no!
Another pick! Another interception! What was the quarterback thinking throwing in that type of coverage?
No, that's just sloppy. That was just sloppy by Indiana.
You guys have the lead. Why are you playing like you're playing from behind?
To throw deep when it wasn't needed, you just need to move the ball and keep the clock going. That was nonsense.
Exactly, and now you just gave the Hilltoppers the momentum they needed to get back into this game.
Well, they didn't get much on that play. Nothing gained. Now it's 2nd and 10. Western Kentucky, you've been given many opportunities to try to make this up. Now is the time to capitalize. They'll try to do so with the halfback. He's going to try to get some yardage, about 3 earned.
Yes, they got a few yards there. It's 3rd and 6. It's 3rd and manageable here. You know, you have plenty. You can open up the playbook here. Looks like they're out of shotgun formation and probably going to throw it. I wouldn't be surprised. And there's drop back to pass. And the quarterback's going to get the first down and then some. A 13-yard rush. They moved the chains. And like I said, the momentum is starting to maybe shift in the Hilltoppers' favor.
And speaking of which, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers have 9 first downs so far in the game. Could possibly be a 10th one. And there it is by number 5, a 16-yard rush. This is the momentum you might be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, they're still moving the chains. They're keeping the ball on the ground. They're gonna, it's right there.
Not gonna gain anything. That's just a gain or a loss of 0.
It's better than losing.
Right now it's 2nd and 10. Man in motion, number 10. Quarterback gives it to the halfback, and it's gonna be for 2 yards.
Hey, it's better than going backwards. Gain of 2. Right now it is 3rd and 8. Once again, that looks like they're in shotgun formation. Drop back to, ooh, and that's going to be nothing.
Had to throw it away. The pressure was on him, and if he kept it any longer, it would have been another devastating sack.
Exactly. They're way out of field goal range, so they got to punt the ball back.
And it's unfortunate because Western Kentucky should not be in this position where they're contemplating, should I throw it deep? Should I try to keep it going? They're trying to throw everything at Indiana, and Indiana is just taking it up in stride.
Indiana can put the game out of reach with another score here. Let's see what they do here.
Number 5 steps back, gives it to the wide receiver, number 1, and that's going to be for 9 yards. Going to be 2nd and 1.
Let's see what they do here.
He is 8 for 13 for the game. Quarterback holds on to it, and the option worked. That's for 10 yards for another Indiana first down.
Do you think if Indiana scores here that they'll put this game out of reach?
I think if they get another touchdown here, it's going to be extremely difficult for Western Kentucky to pull it off. I mean, it is still the 3rd quarter, so there's still movement to be made. And speaking of movement, nothing was earned there. That was a drop pass, so it makes it 2nd and 10.
See what happens here.
Looks like they're going to try to throw it in the air. You have 2 men slanted. Speaking of the slant, the tight end, number 83, connects with a 22-yard reception.
Another first down, keeps the chains moving. Let's see what they do here. They're in Indiana territory. Let's see if they can put this game away. Another first down. They moved the chains again. They're well inside Indiana territory, in their own territory. Yeah, it doesn't look good for the Hilltoppers. Time is not on their side, and they're down by 2 possessions. Can they get the momentum back in their favor?
Well, Indiana is still going to try to hold on to the ball. They don't need to rush it. If anything, they can do exactly like what they've been doing all game long, and that's let number 5 hold on to the ball. And that's another first down, this time for 13 yards.
This is true. The quarterback has been doing his thing, but you don't want him to get hurt. You got to mix it up a little bit so the Hilltoppers don't catch on to it.
Well, that's why he has number 12, and number 12 is going to keep on going. Keep on.
You got to be kidding me.
Because with that type of tenacity, this is the hot, fiery Indiana users that you've been talking about. This is what's going to give them the possibility of a playoff berth.
This guy would not be denied. He did not want to go down. He fought for that touchdown. And like I said, one of the most dangerous teams in this tournament is Indiana. And they're showing it, beating the brakes off of the Hilltoppers.
The 3rd seeded Hilltoppers of the tournament. And right now, WKU has no answer. The team defense, 160 yards. They're holding them down to 160 yards in about 3/4 of competition.
This is the 3 seed. They're not playing like, oh my goodness, is that another pick?
You just said it. They're not playing like a 3rd seed because that's a 2nd turnover by Washington. If I keep saying Washington one more time, Western Kentucky. This is their 2nd. And if Western Kentucky keeps playing like this, they're just going to give up hope. And remember, they are currently the 3rd seed. If they lose, and they lose by 7, that can push them way off, possibly out of the playoffs.
This is true. The Indiana is marching through. They're trying to put this game out of reach. They're trying to put this game out. They're clearing the clock, which is smart. Run the ball, kill the clock. They don't have to do anything. They're playing with the lead. You know, the Hilltoppers have to be the one to come from behind. So
it's a weird strategy that I'm going to present here, but I'm going to say it as we go into the 4th quarter. Indiana, interestingly, needs to run up the score. Here's why. Again, 14
oh my goodness, another pick.
And that pick is going to make things very interesting for Western Kentucky. They were given another gimme. But like I was saying, Indiana has to run up the score because they are in a 4-team race to make it into the playoffs. So if they win by a substantial amount, this could be the game that breaks them into the Final Four. But for Western Kentucky, I don't know what the hell is going on, but if they can't manage to get it together in the next 5 minutes, they might be gone.
They might. They will be gone. Look at the score. They don't have a lot of time. They have to score quickly on this possession.
Well, they have the ball, and it's 2nd and 3. Gets it to the wide receiver, number 83, for 14 yards. That's going to be a Hilltopper. Uh-oh. What is going on? We see a penalty here.
I think the booth is going to review to see if he got it in
It's not a penalty.
bounds.
It's going to be a challenge to see if his
oh, no, it's out.
His foot was not in.
Yeah, that's coming back. That is coming back.
And Western Kentucky thought they got the first, but it looks like it's not going to be the case.
And the play was reversed.
Yeah, and so now they're in a 3-and-3 situation. They're 2-and-6 in 3rd down conversions for the game. They have to change it right here. And wow, that linebacker is going to be hating himself afterwards. That was a missed opportunity.
Hey, it is what it is. They're the ones that have to play for catch-up. You're not going to get them all the time.
But you got to keep playing like a champion. There's no such thing as a downtime moment, and the cornerback is going to stop it. I'm saying they're going to be champions of this game right here, as far as I'm concerned, with a 28-7 lead. I don't see much of a comeback. 21-point deficit. That's what Western Kentucky currently has.
I mean, unless they hit a 20-point game breaker.
You keep talking about game breakers like this is feasible. It's not going to happen, at least not while we're watching. And right now, that was a 1st down for Western Kentucky. They're going to keep it going. They hold on to the ball. Number 13 steps back, gives it to the halfback, number 5. And the cornerback makes an epic fail moment, giving the halfback, number 5, a 12-yard reception.
Hey, if I was going back, hey, I may have missed a tackle, but you're missing the score.
Well, that's a 2nd embarrassed moment for Indiana. Something they may want to take back. And speaking of taking back, I know Western Kentucky want to take back that pass.
Yeah, that could have also been picked again. You guys are like damn near tied for picks.
I mean, are we taking pictures today? Is this a photo shoot?
Oh my goodness, he didn't know where he was going.
It's just straight picks. And now that was another loss of 4.
Yeah, the quarterback, he just looked lost. His GPS was just all over the place and took a sack.
30% in terms of 3rd down conversions. Number 13.
Oh my goodness, he
had
did
to
not
throw
see
it away. Had to throw it away.
He did not see that. He didn't see that coming.
And they're going to take it and go for it.
They have no choice.
Why the hell not at this point? And number 13 steps back.
This is the game, and that's it.
No! Sacked for 7 yards. Turnover on downs.
They may never see the field ever again.
And, yeah, I mean, look, if Indiana, with this position, if they can get another touchdown, they might actually crack into the top 4. Not just because there will be 3-2, but they'll have the points necessary to make it into the semis. I mean, this is a real comeback for Indiana.
Like I said, I told you a couple of games ago, Indiana is going to be that team. They can run the table, and they're proving it now with a dominant win because this game is pretty much over. All they got to do is really just kill the clock. And that's exactly what the quarterback is doing, killing the clock.
Right. They're going to kill or at least manage the clock to reduce it to a good number. But they should be thinking of scoring as well. They have to get enough points to make it so that way they can make it into a 4th seed. I think that's maybe the best that Indiana can project with a win here.
This is true here, but I think they're probably just going to play it safe and just run the clock out. They have the game won. They're going to, hopefully, that everything works out in their favor, because I want to see Indiana, make a run for it in the playoffs.
Well, if they were to do it, and they end up getting the 4th seed, I project that they'll end up facing Baylor, because that'll be the top seeded team. Do you think they'll have a chance to hold themselves against Baylor?
I mean, unless Baylor has RG3 on them, then yeah, probably.
Well, look, right now, another Indiana first down. It makes it 13 for the game. And number 5 is going to give it to the halfback. And nice block by number 67. That's going to give an open lane for another first down.
It's 1st and goal. They're pretty much just going to run this clock out. It's pretty much going to do it. Indiana's probably going to end up hopefully go on to the playoffs. The Hilltoppers are probably done. What an embarrassing loss for, the Hilltoppers. They were the 3 seeded and they didn't play like it today, and they got blown out.
And if they would have kept up with the score, even if they would have lost, they would have probably had enough points to hold it together and sneak in as a 4th seed. I don't think that's even going to happen at this point. They might be knocked out at this point.
Yeah, they're not even calling timeouts. They're just calling. They're just giving it a towel. They're not even calling timeouts. This game is pretty much
Indiana
over.
can still go for 3 points if they want to. With 27 seconds left, all 3 timeouts available. Gets it, not to the tight end. Number 4 still holding it together. It stops the clock at 23 seconds. It's 3rd and goal at the 10. Number 5 steps back and gives it to the cornerback, number 22. And the interception, a valiant effort, but it's not really going to matter with 19 seconds left.
I mean, like I said, unless they hit a 30-point game breaker, this game is pretty much done.
And yeah, it's safe to say Indiana with 28 points could be just enough to hold on as the top 3-2 team and sneak in as a 4th seed. And again, if the projection is right, which I'm pretty certain it will be, Baylor would be the top team. And if Baylor's the top team, I think that's going to be Indiana's next opponent.
Hey, let's see what happens. It could be a pretty interesting match. This is the last play of the game. What is the Hilltoppers going to do? They're going to not get inbounds, and that's not going to stop the clock. And this game is over. And Indiana has maybe punched their ticket to the CFT playoffs. What a convincing win, 28-7.
And that shows the tenacity of Indiana. Quarterback number 5 is player of the game with 2 touchdowns. I mean, not the brightest performance, but it wasn't really what he did in the air. It's what he can do on the ground. That 55-yard touchdown.
Exactly. Woo! And the Hilltopper fans, they're just disappointed. And the Hoosier fans are excited. They may have just willed their team into the playoffs. What an absolute rout from Indiana.
We're done here. Next time you'll hear from us, it's going to be playoff action, so tune in. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.